Hello everybody, it's me, bedroom guru. I don't feel much of one at the moment. I don't know why I'm doing this, to be honest with you. I think it's to help people going through raw pain, going through betrayal, going through a breakup, going through all the haunting memories that keep hitting, going through the pain of looking at places and seeing the memories that attach themselves to them. I think the worst thing is the physical thing. I still haven't eaten properly, and it's been like well over a week now. Bonus is I've lost over a stone. Don't know if you can tell. So there is bonuses in this heartbreak diet. I totally recommend it. Permanent nausea, permanent adrenaline shots just running through me. And the reason why is because it turns out that the man who I thought was the love of my life was actually seeing someone when he met me. And he was also still with his ex-wife, which I didn't know. So basically I was one of 4 women, which really sent me in a bit of a loop yesterday. I've spoken with 2 of the women, and we kind of found some solace in our suffering and in our betrayal. So we've kind of become united, if that makes sense, by being hurt and being betrayed by the same man who managed to manipulate the 3 of us and permanently lie to maintain all 3 people, and then obviously the 4th one turned up. I'm just beyond shocked. I'm just beyond any understanding of it. I'm beyond anything that could make a human capable of doing that. So that's the space I was in yesterday. Anything I eat, I throw up, because of the thought of me being with him and then someone else the following night and then someone else the following night. It was just beyond anything I could possibly comprehend. Because we don't, do we? We don't treat people like that, but there are certain people that do, and I'm going to lead you to that in a minute. So again, this isn't a sob story. It is definitely a story of how to continually walk through the pain, and how again synchronicity has completely been overwhelming. So despite the physical stuff that's going on, again, I've got to honour it. However, this is the weirdest thing that happened this morning. For some godforsaken reason, do you remember I said in my last video about distracting yourself? My brother and my sister-in-law and my niece and nephew came down and staying with me, which has been absolutely fantastic. But today I was so exhausted, I think from adrenal fatigue, to be honest with you, because it's just permanent shock that keeps reverberating through my body. And I just said, I can't do it today. I cannot go out and do things today. I need to rest. I need to stop. And they've been amazing. And before they left, my 2 friends turned up, and so I had my 2 friends there. I had my neighbour from across the road who's been absolutely sensational, and also someone that's helping me finish the back of my kitchen because he left that half done. Took money though. So I suddenly stopped, and it was almost like somebody stopped me and said, look around you. You have not attracted this. Re-watch the video you did about laws of attraction, which was the one that I'm sure it was my granddad or the spirit world typed up, you know, that video, to realise that sometimes we're just going to knock into a lower energy. And I thought, right, okay. And they said, look at who's here, giving you love and support and helping you through this. You know, you're in this situation, you've got to ride through it. However, look at the love you've attracted and the help you've attracted, and that really helped me. So anyway, they went off and did their various things, and I, for some reason, needed to distract myself, so I started going through my paperwork. Have you got that? Do you know when you've got like a list of paperwork that you think, oh, I'll deal with it in a minute, and then you go through it and it's like a gas bill from about 6 months ago? So I just started doing it, and miraculously, I don't know how it got there. I've got no clue I even kept it, but there was a printout from someone called Annie Gabriel. And it was a printout that she'd sent me about Bach's Flower Remedy and recommended certain ones I should take. And I thought, my God, I know why I found this. I know why it's been put here, because I need to perhaps help my physical body get well. So I've messaged her, and hopefully I'll hear something back soon, about taking a physical approach, because I certainly don't want to go on any medication. I know that, because I'm going to be fine soon. However, I thought, great, Bach's Flower Remedy. I'll order that. I'll ask her advice and see which ones I can get for that, because I didn't realise that Bach's Flower Remedy, and you should all have a look at this. Um, there's different elixirs, if you like, or whatever they're called. Pardon my ignorance. I don't know a lot about them, for different scenarios, which I didn't know about. There was 38 different ones in the one I was reading about when I was researching it, on what it can help you with, like heartbreak, loneliness, loss, needing motivation. There's all different ones which I didn't know about, a bit like essential oils, I suppose. So I'm looking forward to hearing from her, and I'll take Bach Flower Remedies, to try and help my physical body to get back to some normality, so I can start trying to eat. So I did that, and then I found that I'm united with the other two ladies, and I've drawn strength from that. I then got a random tag on Facebook from a friend of mine who I know, who was my hairdresser actually, lovely lady, Lisa, back at Somerset, and she sent me this link, and my God, it just completely changed my outlook on everything. I absolutely recommend you to go and watch Jay Shetty. He's used to be a monk, and the stuff he's got to say about love and relationships is absolutely fantastic. So, whatever you're suffering from on an emotional level, I absolutely recommend going over to his YouTube channel and watching what he's got to say. It's very professionally done, very professionally done, and all of the scenarios are acted out by actors. And then he obviously gives his philosophy on whatever scenario he's talking about. And I have to say, that has absolutely brought me so much hope and so much strength. So have a look at him as well, guys, if you're going through this. And that just made me feel full of joy. I also smudged myself again today because of this new shock, because now body's now been exposed to another shock that I've been sharing this poor person with 3 other people. Share and share alike, but there's a limit. So I thought, right, I've gone through another shock. I need to now start easing myself from that. So I called upon Michael, Raguel, and Raphael again, healing, justice, and strength. And I say to myself, I then allowed the sage to burn on top of an amethyst stone. Oh, it's still in there actually. Got one in my pocket here. And I let it burn throughout, around the room, and allowed it to go out the window, and then envisaged all of this pain coming out. So try and do that as well if you're struggling. Then the most amazing thing happened. I got this friend request. Now I've got 2 different accounts. One is for Nicky Allen, which is for people that can come and ask for help, and there are loads of my friends on there as well. And then I have like a personal one, which is just like for family and really close friends, so that I can catch up with them, because on Nicky Allen it's really hard to catch up with people because there's thousands of people on there. And I got this random friend request from someone I've never met in my life before. And when I looked, right, she's a spiritual lady, but she comes from the same town that he came from, and where the woman who cheated on him last week, cheated on me, you know what I mean, the woman who he cheated on with me last week lives, because I found out who she is, found out where she lives. I found out that she's broken loads of relationships up and has been sacked from work because of her behaviour, which made me feel a lot better actually, because I was, you wonder who these people are, who he's turned his head towards, but it turns out she's just as much as a lowlife as him. So that makes me feel really happy and comfortable with that, because she's just another low energy. So that made me feel so much better. However, it gets better, right? So I'm thinking, does she know the woman then? Is that why she's messaging me? I thought, why is this woman messaging me out of nowhere today? And so I accepted a friend request, which I don't normally do on my private one, because that is literally for my really, really close family and friends, right? And I thought, I've got to accept a friendship. So I started speaking to her. I said, I'm not being rude, have I met you before? She goes, no, I know you. Or she said, I've heard of you via one of my friends who's a medium in your area. And I went, oh. And I thought, right, it's weird that she came to my personal name rather than Nicky Allen, because everybody knows me in my work environment as Nicky Allen. And I thought, this is really weird. And then I said to her, you've messaged me for a reason. The spirit world has enabled this connection. What is it for? And she goes, I really don't know. And I said, well, I've just had this heartbreak and I'm physically suffering and I'm trying to ride the storm at the moment. And she went, that's why then. And so she said, I want you to research narcissism, a narcissist. She goes, I'm sure you will then understand everything a lot better. And narcissist to me is just a selfish person. I didn't, that's what I really knew about them. So I Googled it. And my God, the relief was tangible. Because when I looked at all of the attributes of a narcissist, every single point was a tick against him. And I realised that he's a very, very, very poorly man. And I felt at that time such empathy for him, because he's got a mental health or a personality disorder, and he just obviously can't help himself. So I know it sounds really weird, right, but it made me feel that it wasn't, he didn't victimise me, it wasn't a personal thing, he just can't help himself because he's really ill. And when I spoke with the other girls, they displayed this, they kind of described the same traits in him. The endless lies and the deceit and the selfishness and the unempathic way of, how he deals with other human beings, and that everything is the centre of his world and all that. And they said, yeah, that's exactly what he was like with me. And I'm like, wow. And do you know what? There was something that just lifted from me after reading those words of what he is. So it's almost like, do you know when you've got like something wrong with you and you have to find a diagnosis, and there's almost a relief, even if it's bad news, you think, right, well, now I know what I'm fighting. It was very much like that. How random is it? This woman chose to friend request me today from exactly the same town that he used to live in and where this girl comes from, and speak to me about narcissism. I was like, bloody hell. And then I thought, perhaps she's another ex of his. I'm only joking, she's not. But I just thought, oh my God, this is just ridiculous. But it's made me feel so much better, because it is him. 100%, that is what he is. That's what he suffers with. 100%, right the way back from year dot, from who I've spoken to, it's him. And funnily enough, it sounds like the woman from last week, mucked up all these women, also sounds like one as well. So I've had this wonderful lesson, a lesson that I didn't attract it, a lesson that I've been affected by someone that's got a really severe disorder. I've found strength in friends, I've found strength in family, I've found strength in love from those people. And I've also found that even if we do love somebody and they never loved us back, the love wasn't wasted, because at the end of the day, it's wasted on them, because obviously they're never going to feel that love. They're never going to feel that love because they've got some self-destructive or some sort of, problem that they're never going to actually experience that complete happiness and that complete love. But I've still got that love to give, and I've also got love connected to me. Does that make sense? And so it wasn't a wasted love, because I still maintained myself as a loving, giving person, which no doubt I'll do again. The difference is this time is that when there are any flags to make me feel like it's not reciprocated, or there is anything at all that I feel isn't right, which I did for quite a long time and I didn't act on it, which is fair enough, I'm only human, I'm trying my best here to be the best person I can. And so I've honoured it as a process, I've honoured it as a lesson, and I've honoured what I've learned from it. And I've learned that when anything doesn't feel right in a relationship, to go with it and speak your truth. And I did towards the end. Last couple of weeks I have been speaking my truth. But he was very good at talking his way out of it. And in fact the last 2 months I've had my issues. And so I will never again doubt those niggling feelings, which I really shouldn't, because at the end of the day I've been psychic since I was born. I should have listened. But you know what, I didn't, so I honour that as well. So what I'm trying to say is look at the lessons you've learned. Perhaps even make a list of the people that, you know, all your exes from your past, and look at what you've learned from them. Have you learned to be stronger? Have you learned to listen to yourself more? Have you learned that no matter what you give to someone, no matter how much you try and be the best you can for them, if you're the wrong person, it's a waste of time. I can't sit in bitterness and anger. My body won't take it. I'm so terrified of going into a huge ME crash. I'm absolutely terrified of being on my own on Friday when my brother and my family leave, because just hearing them in the background is a massive comfort. However, I'm free to then go and see my friends and free to actually go to my family and stay with them if I need to for support. Whereas I know from before we've isolated and made it all about me being the baddie. Why me? Why has it happened to me? Don't ever ask, why me? Ask, what did I learn? It's done. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. It's how you survive it and how you ride the storm afterwards that counts. We are always going to have people in our lives, whether they're partners, whether they're friends, work colleagues, acquaintances. You're always going to get someone that's going to hurt you in one way or another. It's how you cope with it and stay connected with yourself that is the most important lesson in being hurt, in heartbreak. So I just wanted to give you this brief update. I most probably do look like shite. I still haven't brushed my hair. I haven't even washed it. But I'm going to go and have a bath in a minute. I'm just tired. I'm drained. It's like... I remember in the police life, if we had a really exciting or really dangerous job, and then you come out of it and you're still pumping and pumping and pumping with the adrenaline, and then suddenly it hits and you're like, whoa, I need to sit down for another cup of tea. Talking of that, let me have a little sip of my tea. And it's like that, but 100-fold worse, because obviously the adrenaline's been pumping, and then just as I was getting to a sense of acceptance, then I get the double whammy of all these other ladies that he's been seeing the same time as me. And the hurt of just being thrilled of having this new relationship, because I hadn't had one for many years. And that, you know, the hurt of knowing that even right at the beginning, him knowing my background and what I'd been through, he still continued seeing the other women, and it's like, my God, you know, and I nearly went down the road of going through the agony and the pain and the shock and the anger of that, but I didn't. I pulled myself back from it, and instead I reached out and I empathised with the other ladies. And as I say, no doubt we'll all end up having a drink together at some point, because we're supporting each other, and I think that's a beautiful thing to come out of this, that, you know, we've been able to unite, share our pain, share our experiences with the same man, and just try and get through it all together. It was quite interesting working out the lies, though, you know, when he said he was here, and then she go, no, he's with me, and it was like people bingo. No, that was my night. No, that was me. And it was like, holy shit, it was just a shocker, total shocker. And I ended up taking my niece and nephew to China Blue, and we went and painted some ceramics. We went to Berry Pomeroy Castle, and then we went to Elbury Cove afterwards, after all this shock had hit. And I just sat and just said, Michael, I'm fine. This is something I've got to honour. At the end of the day, you can't be a goldfish in life, can you? You can't stay in your safe little bubble in your little glass bowl and not be affected by lesser, lower beings. So you've got to accept that and know that no doubt it's going to happen again in one way or another. Something else will happen to me and all of you. It's just how you get through it. So I hope you've drawn some positives from this, because I'm sharing with you my journey. And as I say, my body is just not having it. Honestly, I just ordered this skirt, right, and I was worried that it was going to be too small. I put it on today and it is huge. I'm like, right, one thing I'm not going to do is order or buy any clothes until I know what size I'm going to be. Oh god, how funny is it? Oh well. Anyway, my darlings, I just thought I'd give you a tiny little update, and all of these tips that I'm learning and being shown, I just want to share with you, because if I can, if you could just, like, if you're going through betrayal or you're going through something horrible's happened to you, and I can bring some sort of comfort. Like, I'm telling you, when I watched that Jay Shetty, right, I just felt like I wanted to kiss him. I wanted to meet him. I want to know where he's from. I wanted to go and see him because he's just unbelievable. And from what I get from other people, I bring the same in some way. I can't understand why, because his is pizzazzy. We're talking like Hollywood, and with me, we're talking like the Bronx. But that's what inspired me to do it, to be honest with you, because I thought, my God, I sat there watching for about an hour, all these different videos. They're quite short, you know, they're about 5-6 minutes long, unlike mine. And he's just an absolute bloody legend. Go and watch him if you're suffering. Trust me, he is amazing. So it's Jay Shetty, Shetty. So they're my little thoughts for the day for you. If you're suffering, hang on in there, and please try some of the things that I'm trying as I go on each day. And again, I want to say a huge, massive thank you to all the messages and emails of support and love I've received from you all following doing these videos of my experience. Overwhelming as always, and I'm very, very lucky to have such beautiful people that actually have taken the time to do these things to me. My friend Julia, she's Julia Starr on Facebook, and she just literally pulled a couple of cards for me and did me a reading just to steer me along, just because she wanted to. Didn't, you know? It's just, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed to be surrounded by such beautiful people, because some people have to do this alone, you know, and I'm not. And I thank the angels and I thank myself for having this law of attraction that I have been surrounded by so much support. It's just been absolutely incredible. So I'm going to love you and leave you and go back to my lovely family. I just needed to share this for you today, and because a few bits of insight and synchronicity and amazing coincidence have taken place that just let me know they're there, including my granddad marching up and down the hall last night that me and my brother both saw. Thanks, Granddad. He's obviously parading up and down, making sure nothing else goes wrong. Anyway, have a great Easter. Enjoy your family. Count your blessings. And just at some point over the weekend, just stop for a couple of minutes and look around the activity of the people that love you and who you love, and feel honoured that they're there and you're there with them. That's all I'd say to you. So with that, God bless you all. May the angels just bless you always, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Take care. Bye now.